Good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. You know who I am by now if you subscribe to me or watch me through Facebook. It's that time once again, time for my Wise Water Sports Talk. And boy, do we got a good one today. We got some football, basketball, college football. But let's start with probably the two biggest news that came out of this past weekend. We have hockey again, yes! We get to see people lose more teeth than a boxer does. Now, there's only going to be about 48 games, give or take. The season should start next week, it looks like. So this should be very interesting to see what does happen. Normally this would be the time I would say here are the teams I think would be making the playoffs. But with the fact of it's going to be a very small schedule, who knows who's going to make it. By the way, it is rumored it will be January 19th. Which is next week. As a matter of fact, that would be next Saturday. So 48 games, if that is the case, it's going to be very interesting to see who makes it and who does not. So hockey fans, tighten your belt because it's do or die mode every game coming up. Now let's talk about some college football. Alabama recently won Monday night to win the BCS title. Once again showing why they are the best of the best. Unfortunately, that does not make me happy because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but hey, there is always next year for Notre Dame. Now, of course, and that brings up something else. Is the SEC the best conference in college football? I think yes, it is, and as much as I hate saying this, I think we're going to probably see when the playoffs do start, probably all four, at least 3 of the spots will go to an SEC team, which will piss off fans. So either way, college is going to be will not win a lot on that. Yeah, so congratulations to Alabama on winning. Good luck to every team who made a bowl game, win or loss. Good luck to them next year. Alright, let's get to the NBA. And before we can even talk about the best teams, I got to go to the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks, who are really, excuse me, nothing like Blue Mountain Dew. For a video, right? Anyway, they are really sticking up the joint right now. Lakers and Dallas are showing why they are probably the worst team right now in the NBA. You know, granted, yes, I always hate on Washington, who only has 5 wins. By the way, I believe the Wizards will most likely, if the lottery goes their way, will get the first pick in the NBA draft. But I don't think anyone had the Lakers or the Dallas Mavericks being this bad. Yes, I know we're only so many games into the season, but this is really bad. And if this keeps up, I don't think neither team makes the playoffs. I really don't. Because at this point now, it's just like you're trying to get in a good position for the All-Star break. Now let's talk. And before we even jump to who are the top 8 teams in East Conference, let's talk about the Kings, who looks like moving to Seattle. Will the Seattle SuperSonics be back? No, sorry guys, they're not going to be called the Sonics. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're either going to be called the Seattle Kings or maybe they get a new name. Who knows on that? You know, it's rumored they're going to go to. Let me rephrase that. It's rumored that they may, to be next Seattle team. Who knows? If it does, hey, maybe it might help them because I don't think they really got a strong fan base in Sacramento. We'll see what happens on that front. Now, of course, with that being said, let's go to the Eastern Conference. Talk about the top 8 teams there. Miami, showing why they are the best. Followed by New York, who also showing why they're probably one of the best teams this year. Indiana, Atlanta, not really surprised there. Chicago at number 5, that is kind of a surprise because I thought they would have been higher. The Brooklyn Nets, now I don't think anyone saw that happening. The Milwaukee Bucks, where the hell did they come from? And the Boston Celtics holding in the 8th spot. Right now I'm looking at it, Boston to me, out of all the top 8 teams, I look at Boston, I don't think they belong. Same with Milwaukee. They're the only 2 I don't think that belong there right now. But for whatever reason, they're doing things right. So you can't complain if you're there right now. Philadelphia is still putting a fight, so don't be surprised if we see the Philadelphia 76ers for a battle for that 8th spot when we get near the playoff race. I know it's early, but I love talking about this stuff. Over in the Western Conference, The Clippers of Los Angeles, not the Lakers, the Clippers are the best team in the Western Conference. And as a matter of fact, you could say probably the best team in the NBA right now. Followed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Spurs, the Grizzlies, the Warriors. Who the hell had that? Houston Rockets, I tip my hat to Denver, and then the Portland Trail Blazers. Utah and Minnesota can still get in as well. Lakers, Kings, and Mavs. What the hell's going on? But I gotta be honest, Portland I think is the dark horse there, because I don't think anyone really thought they would be where they were at right now. You know, I know it's still early, but still, no one had them then. Same with the Golden State Warriors. Did anyone really say they were the 5th best team in the Western Conference? No. It's going to be very interesting what happens when we get to the All-Star break to see who is the best and who is not. Sure, we shall see. But as far as I'm concerned, the worst team in the NBA right now is still the Washington Wizards. Now, before we jump to football, I know someone's like, oh, you don't talk about college basketball too much, or baseball. Well, we're going to get to that now. Baseball, for the first time since 1996, no players make the Baseball Hall of Fame. It is very surprising. You know, and depending who you are, you may have a different opinion. You're like, yeah, hey, guys like Barry Bonds and Clemens should go in. Others may be like, maybe they shouldn't go in because, you know, the steroids. Here's my thing. I don't think they should go in. I think it would tarnish the Hall of Fame, allowing steroid users in. And if you do let them in, I'm sorry, you have to let Pete Rose in at that point. Because you cannot justifiably say it is okay to you let people in who cheated, who used steroids, and not let somebody in who gambled and bet on his team. Sorry, to me it's the one and the same. They cheated either way. Gotta let Pete Rose in if you put in Barry Bonds and Clemens. That's just my belief. I'm sure other people disagree with it. I'm sure other people agree. Let me know what you think on that. What do you think of the Hall of Fame guys no Hall of Fame this year for no one being inducted? Let me know what you think on that. By the way, NASCAR fans, it's almost time for NASCAR season. Who's ready for that? I know I am. Let's get to some college basketball before we get to football, shall we? I know it's looking very interesting. It looks like we're going to see a lot of surprises right now, because now this is the time when you start doing conference play. You know, who gets in, who gets out, who does not make it. Just to bring up the standings right now, a lot of conference games have been going on. Some conferences have been going on longer than that. So let's just throw a few out there. Conferences that people actually know of. Atlantic 10 right now, that's a battle between Butler, Charlotte, and Virginia Commonwealth, better known as VCU. VCU has a very good shot at making it again. And they play Saturday night, by the way. For anyone living in the great state of Virginia, like me, they play Saturday at 4 o'clock. So if you want to see them, you will be missing the Ravens game. So, on that. But let's get to the conferences that I think are the most intriguing this year. The ACC, a lot of battling going on, because you got Duke, who's on top, followed by North Carolina State, Florida State, Miami. Maryland can throw their hat in and say they're the best ACC team. Right now, Duke's undefeated. That plays a key factor to me as far as I am concerned. Unfortunately, right now, the worst team in the ACC is Clemson. I know some people are but Wake Forest is the same overall record. Yeah, conference-wise, though, Clemson's 0-2. Period on that. Baylor, top of the Big 12 right now. Big East, Syracuse, that does not surprise anybody. And I think one of the most surprising teams this year is, believe it or not, and I know this may surprise a lot of people. Wait a minute, when did Harvard get a good basketball team? I'm kidding. Is Notre Dame. I think a lot of people did not have Notre Dame being this good this year. I think, and I'm not talking about the football Notre Dame, I'm actually talking about the college basketball Notre Dame. because I firmly believe a lot of people don't like them. For whatever the reason is, I don't know. Maybe it's because people hate. Maybe it's because Notre Dame's ego. I don't know. But the 17th right now in the country, 14-1, 2-0 in the Big East. That's not bad. They just did beat Cincinnati Monday, so at least the football team failed us, but the basketball team did great. And Saturday they play Connecticut, who's 11-3. That could be a very important game for Fighting Irish and Connecticut. As a matter of fact, it could mean a lot for the Big East because right now, Syracuse and Louisville, they're on the top. Notre Dame's right behind them. You know, they're clipping at the heels. So it should be very interesting to see what happens down the road. Now, with that being said, now that I got the college basketball out of the way, it's out of the way, thank God for that. Let's get to football. Oh, dear God, there's a lot of shit going down. First, let's talk about what happened Monday. RG3 injured himself Sunday, his ACL and his ACL and his LCL, so he had to go under the knife. And if you ask me, I didn't get to say it yesterday because I was feeling like crap when I did my picks. But I firmly believe the reason the Redskins lost this past week was because they played RG3. If you didn't play him, you guys could have won that game. But you played him the whole game, and it bit you in the ass. That's a fact. Now, he's under the knife. He's got to have 2 kind of surgeries done. Will he be ready next season? I don't know. That's going to be a hard question. That's on him and him alone. And if he is, would this be the same RG3 we saw who had this great rookie year? Or will he be a flash in the pan? And I hate using that term, but right now that's what it feels like to me because of the injuries. If he has a bad year and then the new season starts, if he's not ready to go, or he goes and he plays pathetic, he will be nothing more but a flash in the pan. And I firmly believe the Redskins, whoever said he could play, either it'd be him or which if RG3 said he could go, hey, I give you applause for you know, guts, but for brain power, I give you nothing because it was stupid. You should have rested it. You should have rested in week 17 to be perfectly honest as well. Speaking of that, Cowboys, they fired their defensive coordinator and they are looking for a new one. Who knows what's going to happen there? A lot of people it's going to believe Griffin from the USC. Who knows? I'd prefer Lovie Smith, but yeah, that's not going to happen. Speaking of head coaches, Jaguars fired their head coach after 1 season. Yeah, did that surprise anybody? Jaguars were a joke this year. I think we'll have that coming. So who knows who's going to be the new head coach this year for them. Also, today, Jaguars GM said Tebow isn't in the team's plans. So who knows on that? Who knows? Maybe Tebow may be done, or maybe a new team will pick him up, or maybe he might go to the Canadian Football League. Who knows on that? I don't want to discuss it because ESPN's going to be doing a lot of it. Now, Eagles interview Notre Dame's Brian Kelly. Could he become a Philadelphia Eagle? God, I hope not. Because then I couldn't like the man too much. Because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but I don't want to see him go there. Please don't go there, because then I would have to boo against you. And I don't want to do it. Okay? Go to Arizona. Go to Oakland. Go to Jacksonville. I'll be okay. Just stay out of Philly, okay? Stay out of Philly, because for my master plan to work, you can't go to Philly. You have to go somewhere else if you're coming to the NFL. So I already firmly believe who I think is going to Philadelphia. If you don't know who that is, watch my last Wide Water Sports video, and you know who that is. Other than that, really not a lot of football news-wise. But, you know, a lot of people, you know, some people brought this up to me on Facebook and Twitter, and I want to talk about it. This is to do with the Washington Redskins. A lot of people believe Mike Shanahan should be fired because of what happened Sunday. I disagree. You know, granted, I do hold him accountable. I firmly believe the problem is, you know, it's a win or lose your job culture. RG3 was pretty much playing for his job, which I think we know this. But at the same time, we have to look at the Vikings, who their quarterback couldn't go, and they didn't play him. Yeah, they lost, but hindsight's 2020. If they would have played him, he might have got hurt more. AKA, look at RG3. He played. He has 2 injuries that he had to go into the night for. Very hard. And I think the problem is with these players is they don't want to lose their shot at getting benched or losing their spot, which I can understand that. You only get money if you play. But sometimes you got to put your health over money. You got to put your health and your well-being over everything else. I think that's what RG3 should have done personally, but that is my opinion on that. So anyway, that's my Wild Water Sports video for this week. Sorry for the bad webcam. I'm sure it will get fixed eventually next week. Kidding, of course. Alright, I will see you later tonight for my Wheel of Fortune review for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Till then, this is your boy, the DOUG, signing out. Woo!